Good evening and thank you for joining us. Tonight on Bent TV, we begin with the bear cave. Sex and the bear. Is the belly the best or bust? In The Talk, Matthew and his guests discuss sex education and how it can be improved. And then we finish tonight with the G Factor, with the girls discussing the misadventures and mischief around holidays.
Hi, my name's Mark Hadden and this is The Bear Cave on Bent TV. Today with me I've got Robbie and Camm. And we're going to get a little R-rated, I think, today.
We're allowed to do that?
Yeah, we're allowed to do that.
Okay.
The topic today is sex and the bear. Is the belly the best or a bust?
Ooh.
All right, who's going to jump in first?
I'm going to jump in.
You always do jump in.
I know.
Well, yeah.
Jump in the deep end.
Yeah.
Look, I honestly I don't think it's about the belly. I think it's more about sort of the actual person attached to the belly. That's my personal judgment on that. But see, I'm very varied in my taste. I can go from a Twinkie up to a daddy bear. Like it doesn't. It's about. I said it's for me personally. The physical appearance is just one aspect of it. It's not who that person actually is. So yeah, I'm going to say it doesn't matter. I'm a fence sitter.
So seriously, you don't have a fetish, or you don't like the bigger guy.
Because
or the belly?
let's be serious about
it. It's always about the inside. I'm going to hear that all the time. Come on, what do you look for?
What, my fetish? Ooh, I don't know. See, I'm so new. I'm so new to the big city.
You're so full of it.
Yeah, Rob, what do you think?
Oh, look, the belly or bust. I've always been into bellies and the bigger bears. So my partners from way back when I discovered bears themselves, I didn't realise at the time I was partnered to a bear until we discovered, fell into a big bear's den night and thought, wow, this is what, okay, so there's a sort of group or a label for this guy. He was a big, like 6'4", big-bellied, sort of bigger bear, and I was a lot younger at that time. So yeah, no, obviously there's something in my head that has this sort of fetish or desire for the bigger bellied guys.
Oh, yeah.
So that in itself drives me crazy. So then what may happen or transpire in the bedroom, that's another question, is like, does it get in the way or doesn't? I think it's hot. So for me, it doesn't get in the way. No, it doesn't get in the way. There's lots you can do. It's not a reflection of their, a guy's performance because they do or don't have a big belly. So yeah, I'm personally all for them. I love the big guys. Absolutely.
All right, Robbie, what do you think?
I think through becoming more involved in the bears, that I suddenly was opened up to this whole world of people that are into that are the chasers, that are excited by,
Because I have to say, your husband, he's fit. He's not a bear. He's not big. He's not a big belly at all.
And also, he's a chaser. That's what he likes.
Okay.
He likes a bigger guy, and he always has. And that was my first exposure to that, and the confidence that I got from that. So instead of having to feel like, that there was something wrong with my appearance or that I should be ashamed of the way I looked, I sort of started being proud of the way that I looked and gone, actually, and as soon as you open your eyes to it, you start to see it more and more. People are attracted to that. People do like the bigger guy. People do like the daddies. People have every different strokes for different folks, and you will be somebody's type, I've found.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've said this many a time, but thank God for chasers. I don't know if I'm
They
being...
keep me young.
Yeah, they keep me young. I don't know if I'm
feeling
being...
young.
Am I being un-PC by saying that, though?
No.
I think the chasers would love to hear that.
And
Oh, good.
That there's guys of our generation, and we're of a generation. I saw myself as a cub for many years. I was, always play the sort of not the dominant role on the cub and like being with the big bear. But I found in the bear community, as you sort of age and I've started to stack a bit of weight on, I get the term daddy a lot now. It's like, hang on, I'm not the daddy. I like being with the daddy. So it's sort of.
It's like the first time you get called daddy, it's like, what?
and I've been in denial about that and look for years. Recently on a work trip, I won't say which one, but I embraced it, and it was a lot of fun. It was at another city's den night, another club in Australia, and I thought, fuck it, I'll just just sort of change it up a bit, except who I am and the size, and it was fun. There's chasers around, and all that.
It's interesting because this is probably the most clothes that I've actually been around you guys on with.
Exactly.
Shirtless somewhere in the
What's this
land,
clothes
or
thing
down
gonna
at
do?
its park. I don't know. I've usually got no clothes. That's terrible.
Right.
But I think what really struck a chord with me was sort of how, through the competition of Vic Bears, I come out in very little at one stage of the night. And I was actually...
We were there.
I know.
Yeah, I've got photos.
I've got videos.
In my backpack. Get it?
But I think I was amazed at how accepting, because I said I've been a very self-conscious person because I've been quite large through my entire life. And obviously growing up through school in a regional town, very small, and being taught and teased by my size and who I am, and it's really quite hurtful. So sort of coming to Melbourne and actually finding a group of people who absolutely loved the fact.
Applauded it. People were
Absolutely
cheering
applauded
you
and
on.
cheered
So,
it,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're going nuts. But not just then, but I think after the events, I've certainly had a lot of attention and guys complimenting me on my body, and it's just like, oh, I like you. We're going home. Let's go.
Which is what the Bears have always been about. That
Exactly.
You don't have to be a certain type or gym toned or whatever. Is that you can be any shape,
shape,
you know, hairy or not, or any age,
And
and you'll feel welcome and, you know, that camaraderie in the bear community. Which
As we
is-
said, thank God for the chasers.
Exactly. But you didn't look uncomfortable on stage. Like when you came out in next to another, you
I
certainly didn't he? I mean,
Yeah,
he
you
seemed
didn't
to feel very
look-
confident.
You didn't look uncomfortable.
Even though you just had a jock
No.
strap or just a pair of undies, tidy whities. wasn't it,
Oh
or
no,
something?
it was a jock strap.
It was a jock strap,
But no,
that's
I had my whip. So as soon as I had my whip and my Kubra and my boots, I'm pretty comfortable.
You were in control.
I had control over you. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I hit Mark, but that's okay.
You did.
Exactly. Points off for that. Two
That was
points
the
off.
2
2
points.
points.
Damn it.
Exactly. Robbie, have you felt more comfortable in your body since Bears?
Yeah,
and you've
definitely,
been...
definitely. I mean, the confidence that I have, the clothes that I wear, the way that I hold myself now. I used to, you always do these ones. Like, oh, I don't want my shirt on my belly, and now I'll wear a tighter shirt, or I'll even go topless in a club if the
mood takes it.
if the night goes in that direction. Yeah, for sure.
It's
And
funny you
it's
say.
such a new thing for me.
Just with the tightness of your shirt, like I'm wearing a shirt now, and there's not much room in the shirt. I can tell you that now. But before I left home, I said to my friend of mine, I'm like, "Is this shirt too tight?" And he's like, "Seriously, it's the hottest shirt you've worn in your whole life." And I'm like, "I'll take it off." He's like, "No, keep it on." But it was sort of like. That to me again was a sort of acceptance and a sort of the self-confidence thing that sort of that the community allows each other to have, because as I said, it's very daunting sometimes taking your shirt off and sort of feeling comfortable in your own skin, so to speak.
And one of the events that is predominant in the bear world these days, and you'll find it at every bear run, is an underbear party, where everyone gets their shirts off
Yeah.
and they're just in their underwear.
Yeah.
Or
and-
jock straps.
Or jock straps.
And I think then the belly, you know, any size or shape is celebrated. But the counterpoint to this, I've got to say, someone close to me is very conscious about their body, a close friend, and has a belly. So when looks in the mirror is uncomfortable. And, you know, yet to get to the point where to be able to come to an event like an underbear where, you know, as much as I may say, it's not an issue, honest, trust me, is still that, for many guys still, they're very body conscious and won't see, no one will see them naked except themselves, their partners. And I think that's something we need to be conscious of. So, yeah, you asked this question on this panel, we're like, yeah, no problem. But there's still many, I think, would think, yeah, I need to look a certain way, or I need to be comfortable in my skin before I show it to anyone.
I think what we've learnt today is get the T-shirts off, get the bellies out. Thank you, Robbie, Rob, Cam, for being on the
Thanks,
Bear
Mark.
Cave today. My name's Mark Hadden. This has been the Bear Cave. Catch you next time on Bent TV.
Hi everyone, welcome to the talk on Bent TV. My name is Matthew, and I'm joined here today by Tina, Luka, and Michael. And we're here to give, I guess, Bent TV viewers the talk that a lot of queer youth don't get. You know, when heterosexual children grow up, they talk about getting the talk about sex from their parents, and even though that can be quite limiting in itself for queer people, it's non-existent. So we thought we'd talk today about issues around sex and sexuality that affect LGBTI people that we don't get to hear about from other people, like we grow up not getting anyone to talk to about it. So today we're going to talk specifically about sex education and how it can be improved. So I guess to start off with, and this is open to all of you guys, how did you learn about sex and sexuality? Where did you learn about sex?
I learned about sex, like heterosex, in school, as most kids probably did, the usual put the condom on the banana kind of thing. But then I probably started learning about sex in regards to my sexuality and kind of exploring what I'd liked or what I didn't like. Admittedly, probably through porn and also through just experience. But the education, specifically for people within the queer community, could definitely be like improved, and because there's just not enough education out there, basically.
Well, definitely. Before we go on with that, yeah, how did you guys learn about sex?
Well, I mean, I went to an all-boys Catholic private school, so it wasn't like the condom on the banana sounds like a dream to me. It was very hands-on. Yeah, so like for us, it was just my sex education was just, this is what chlamydia looks like. Bye.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, like, that was it. Yeah.
Sit with that for a while.
Yeah. So it wasn't like homophobic at all. It was just like gay people don't exist in sexes, penis and vagina, etc. And so, like. And I think because they're not outrightly saying that like gay sex is bad or gay people are bad, or you know, it's just this kind of silence around queer sexuality or queer relationships or queer romance or desire or anything is just because if you don't talk about it, young kids are just going to think that it's either it doesn't exist or it's abnormal, and they think that wow, no one like this is what everyone else is feeling. Like why am I feeling this? Like
why are you feeling different? Yeah.
Tina?
Well, hetero, of course, you learned in school and all that, but I guess with the homosexuality and sex with other women, so lesbian sex, I didn't really get to learn that off anybody, really. It was more of you kind of have to go online and read things, and I didn't actually experience watching lesbian porn, so I probably still don't do it now. And but yeah, it's just more of experience. I think having experienced that, and I think that's a bit of an issue because you kind of go in there and experience it not knowing the safety precaution, practicing safe sex. And so, from my experience, I don't think when I look at it, it's not really considered safe sex because there's so many, and I don't think there's enough education for lesbians in regards to that. We too also have to have safe sex and using diaphragms and all that. So I never really got that until I grew up and actually learned it.
Well, that's the thing. I know, for instance, like the Victorian AIDS Council, Living Positive Victoria, they have a lot of campaigns around safe sex for gay men, but I was curious, do they have many campaigns, or is there enough information out there, particularly for lesbian women and protection when it comes to sex?
There is information out there. But I don't think it's pushed enough.
If you go to like the deep corners of the internet to find it.
Not the deep web. That's something entirely different.
Probably the wrong way.
I don't think there's enough education. Like, if I speak to other lesbians out there, they don't realize, just keeping hygiene, or you can potentially use gloves instead of condoms. You can actually use condoms and cut it in a way so you can use it as a diaphragm. And so all these safety precautions that you could possibly do to prevent, we may not have a higher risk of, contracting STI or anything like that, but we still can, you know what I mean? And so by having education on how we can prevent that in lesbians, we don't have that. Well, it's not pushed as hard compared to the Victorian AIDS councils for gay men and everything like that. So, yeah.
I mean, most of you mentioned that, the internet was a big source of information. And I think that's where the problem comes in, because while there can be invaluable resources online, there's also a lot of misinformation out there. For instance, through porn. Porn can be very problematic in terms of informing you of what sex should be, gay sex, lesbian sex, any kind of sex. And so I think, how do you guys think that we could improve education, or how do you feel like people could, younger people in particular, learn more about sex in a better way? Is it through schools, through parents, how could it be improved?
Well, I think I mean, a lot of people say that parents should be, this is usually like the abstinence only kind of parents are saying, like, I should be telling my kids, I'm like, I really don't want to talk to my parents about like anal sex. But like for me, like growing, I learned more from YouTube. Like YouTube people now are kind of really, not like, but like, people talking about like their sexual experiences and like safe sex on YouTube, which is really cool. But before YouTube, I was watching porn, like at a really young age, where I did not understand like what was happening, or like I couldn't really understand the nuances. So I think like in terms of porn, like you hear the statistics, like a ridiculous number of young kids like are watching porn. So I think that schools and parents need to not like kind of censor their kids or hide them from porn. They need to like talk to them about porn and about like they're going to encounter porn. You need to equip them with the skills to kind of analyze it better and not just accept it as like, this is what sex is, this is what affection, desire, this is what like kind of gender is, because you see the lesbian porn, it's girl on girl for designed for heterosexual men, like that. I think, you need to be able to kind of understand the kind of implications of, and really problematic implications of what we see in mainstream porn.
I think like, even if, I know there are some groups out there now doing it, but just more groups who are out there for younger people in the queer community, kind of, like I think some of them are like running workshops and like just printing little information booklets that is kind of basically just saying, it's perfectly fine, it's perfectly normal, and like this is, like what you can do about it, instead of just or like publishing information, like even for parents to talk to their kids about it, because I don't think I'd like want to speak to my parents about it either.
Definitely, and we should say like there definitely has been progression in that area. So for instance, Minus 18, in the Safe Schools Coalition, they've published resources like the All of Us one, which is for high schools, informing them about how to create an inclusive and supportive environment for queer students, and also the OMG I'm Trans resource, for instance. But there's definitely still a long way to go in terms of making high school students feel more accepted and comfortable. But thank you guys for talking to me again today, Tina, Luka, Michael, and thank you everyone for tuning into the talk on Bent TV.
Thank you for staying with Bent TV. Please visit our website, Twitter, YouTube channel and Facebook to find the different ways you can support Bent TV, provide feedback and become involved in supporting Bent TV. Back after this break.
Welcome to Bent TV, you're on G Factor.
Holidays.
Rosebud, every year for about 10 years, down we go, and there's like 5 kids and a mother and a father, right? Which is unusual these days. So anyway, and the car's packed up, the Ford Falcon, like to the rafters. You can't fit, there's flippers, there's blow-up rafts, there's a trailer, there's a roof rack. It's like ridiculous. We're all taking everything, but we need that, we need that. So anyway, we're down there and we stop at Frankston, and my brother always gets the front seat because he gets car sick.
Oh, that's a good plan, strategy.
So we stop at Frankston. Anyway, I want the front seat. Right?
What did you say you were sick?
I want the front seat, here, honey. They're nice party bikes. So now this is how I did it, right? So I said to my brother, and we're only about 8, 9. Yeah. I said, Dad's getting us ice creams. Go and wait in the ice cream shop, right? So anyway, we're in the car, I get in the front seat, and I sort of said to Dad, we're all here. I've swapped with Ben, let's go. Off we go. About 5 minutes later, Mum's gone, somebody's missing. Brendan's missing, Ben's missing. From the back seat, she never sat in the front. Tell me, Ben's missing. Anyway, Dad goes, what? So he goes back to the shop, or back to where I left him, and I'm just thinking, I'm in trouble now, right? Anyway, and he's sitting there eating an ice cream with this family that adopted him and were looking after him because obviously he was crying.
That's hilarious.
Because we drove off, right?
That's hilarious.
Did they even bother to call anyone, or they just adopted your brother?
Well,
He's a child with nothing.
Well,
no
he's
family.
crying and he's going, my dad's driven off with the family and he's left there. But he gets an ice cream.
People there.
This haunts me.
Yeah.
this will haunt me until the day I die. I had my 6-month-old down Church Road, Brighton, right?
Right.
Those big
yeah.
Emma Long, you know those big heavy prams were
Yeah.
in. Anyway, you probably don't know because you don't have.
I don't have kids.
But you just is like you go with the whole fad thing
Yeah.
and have the pram, and he was about 5 months old, 6 months old.
Yeah.
Looking at the shops and da 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 da, and then I go clunk clunk, and I look down, and there is my child like on the ground. And I ran the pram over him, and he had like tread marks on his little jumpsuit. It was awful, and I
Was he
literally-
breathing? Did you have to go?
Yeah, he was like, because he was crying. You know, when kid babies cry. They're like,
So he fell through the hole.
he didn't fall through the hole. I
fell
just
down.
forgot to put the
He fell
seatbelt on him, and he's falling.
Falling out of it. Oh, that's a
Always
cracker.
wear your seatbelt.
Yeah, I went on a holiday once.
Once.
Never again.
Yeah.
So
Auntie.
I went to this boxing benefit, and you got to buy a
Cheers, bub.
you got to donate to homeless children. Anyway, I bought this 7-night package and 6 people to go to Cairns, which is one of your Port Douglas actually. And anyway, so it was a villa, private villa with your own plunge pool, and it was, looking forward to it. So anyway, we shouted out my parents up there to have a little family
What's a
holiday.
plunge pool?
Well, it's where you can't
Little
swim
pool.
laps.
Oh, you just
Dip into
Well,
cool
it's like as big as this room.
plunge like a coffee. You plunge in, you
You
plunge
can
out.
call it a pool, plunge hole.
No, it's a pool because you can walk up it.
It's
You
just like
can't.
a poor man's pool, really, isn't it?
Anyway, it was
So-
$5,000 actually that we donated.
For the plunge pool. No.
You
For the-
donated
for
money.
the 7
Look, I need some donations. She does good donations.
I know.
Oh, great.
No, that's on my way.
I give God. I like to give because it's important to give back.
Yeah.
So anyway, we spent all this money. So I had an expectation of what that would be. Anyway, we get there and you get a golf buggy and everything, so you get to drive around the golf buggy because it's in a gated type environment.
They
It's
suit
very
you.
sexy.
You look really
Do I look like
intelligent.
Lois Lane?
You do
Or
look
Clark
like
Kent?
You know? You do
You
look
look
like
intelligent.
Anyway, we rocked up and the place was absolutely falling down. It was shocking. It was absolutely just run down.
Oh,
So-
ripped off.
So I went around because I used to be in property management in a past life, and I used to went around and I wrote everything down that was wrong.
Of course you do.
So you should.
And then I picked up the
Rude.
phone and said, I want to move because this is unacceptable. I want to
Yeah.
go to another villa. And they said, no, they don't have any. And then we had to. So we had to have people coming and going throughout the whole 7
Like
days,
maintenance.
fixing things.
Oh,
Could you get a
Fixing the
refund?
fridge? No, because I donated the money.
Oh,
charity.
you could.
Yeah.
Oh.
I decided to take my brother, go camping with my brother and with my son. He sometimes feels like my brother.
Yeah,
my son.
he's
He
cute.
picks on me.
You're
like
probably
my
a brother.
would.
They're probably brother and sister
We're
in a
like
past
sibling.
life.
Yeah.
So my son and my mother. So we thought, where can we go? Let's go to Marimbula.
Oh, Marimbula.
So it'd be nice. Get out, long drive. I think it's like a 6-hour drive
Yeah.
or something, isn't it? Well, it started from the moment. First of all, my
We
mum
there
was
yet?
like, she's one of those nervous passengers.
In the back seat.
It's like, break.
Oh,
There's a
can't you hate that?
Anyway, then once she got over that, we're driving and she had 6 hours to completely pick my life. Like, literally.
And you couldn't escape.
Pick it apart and make a comment. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, she had you captivated. She had a
You
captivated
couldn't get
audience.
out of the car.
But that's not
What did
all,
she
right?
do?
It gets worse or better.
Yeah.
Better at being worse. So we get there finally after 6 hours drive and my head's completely done in, right? If I could look like I felt. Anyway, so we get there and they're like, okay, yes, how many of you? And so they look at us and think, okay, we'll put you in the family section. My son's 14, 13. Stick us in the family section.
Yeah.
We were camping, so the whole novelty of camping. And in the past, when we've gone camping, it's been rough and rugged, right? You could build a fire, whatever. No, these were manicured. The big four.
Oh yeah.
Manicured
Those caravan places.
places,
Yeah.
yeah.
Families. Yeah.
Fully equipped kitchen. Like, I've never cooked at a camping ground in a kitchen and microwave food. and put my food in the fridge. Like, we brought Eskies and this is fantastic. So anyway, that was great. Set up the tent. Clouds.
Oh, it's going to rain.
No. you
No way.
serious? Gale, wind blowing, pouring, so we've zipped everything up. And then, after being confined in the car for 6 hours, I was confined in a tent 24/7 for 3 days, and it was like, and then my look was a bit more.
It was like, lock me away. You've got Tourette's.
Oh no.
And then we had to drive back.
Oh,
so all the way home.
You could have put her on a plane.
And,
You could have put her on a plane.
No.
Stand out in the rain.
So all the way on, all 6-hour drive on the way home was, we should have gone closer. We should have gone somewhere. Why did we go there? And I was like, oh my God.
Would you just turn up the music?
A holiday.
Yeah. Well, that always
Get over
causes
that.
fights on a road trip.
Thank you for tuning in to Bent TV, and goodbye from the G Factor girls.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for watching. My name is Gavin Henderson. Please visit our website, YouTube channel, Facebook to keep in contact and support Bent TV.